We're fed all sorts of stuff. Who knows? What I'm saying, the question is, everybody wants peace. We all want a ceasefire.
Yes.
How do you have a ceasefire with a terrorist group that said they will kill you again the next day and every day when you declare the ceasefire?
And so I always not trying to find common ground. So this is the common ground so far. We all agree that. I'll tell you, Lois. So what I'll tell you, the common ground is this: is that we all abhor war. We all abhor the casualties, and we recognise that the first casualty in war is the truth. So on both sides, you're going to get false statistics and so on and so forth. We're searching for that truth. We also both believe, I hope, that peace is a great way forward. But ceasefire, just be clear on this, ceasefire means ceasefire on all sides. So your presumption is that the attacks continue. Now that's not a ceasefire. That's attacks continue on one side, and I'm with you on that. That would, but no, let me finish because we're agreeing. Right. That would be wrong. So I absolutely, what I mean by ceasefire is exactly that. A ceasefire means a ceasefire for everybody. I am pro-peace, and I think we should all send out that message because we have a responsibility. All three of us and everybody else in the media has a responsibility to make sure there's a balanced, logical discussion where we absolutely urge people to go to that all efforts to ensure that there is peace on all sides. That's got to be right, hasn't it?
Okay. But one of the organisations doesn't want peace. I mean, there's a quite famous phrase, that if Israel put down their arms, that basically they wouldn't exist anymore, and if Hamas put down their arms, there would be peace. You're not dealing with two rational sides. You're not dealing with two groups. Of democratically elected governments. I mean, Hamas were voted in and then decided not to have elections for 20 years and threw all their political opponents off the top of buildings, which incidentally is what they do with gays as well. So all those queers for Palestine lot, it's like turkeys voting for Christmas. So you can't have a rational debate and ceasefire discussions with a group that don't want peace under any circumstances. And as Dr. Gewolb has repeatedly said, and I completely agree with him, they do not want a ceasefire whatsoever. You cannot negotiate with them.
Okay, let's work on this assumption then. Let's assume, because they're a designated terrorist organisation in the UK, that Hamas are designated as such. Most Palestinians, however, are pro-peace. Would you recognise that?
And a huge amount of them, actually, although there are different polling, there is different polling. When they're allowed to speak freely, I believe that they actually do not support Hamas. So we should be helping them overthrow Hamas.
Brilliant. So let's follow that through, because I think this is really powerful. And what I love about TNT is that we've got a wider platform to dig deep. So it's not just these little sound bites of being one side or the other. And anything you say, if you say something against Hamas, if you say something against Israel, then it's anti-Semitic. That's not true. There's atrocities on. But let me finish, because we're making progress. We're making progress. What I love about this, if we can try and find the road to peace, and what I'm saying, our obligation is to help people unpack the reality, work out that we're being misinformed. They always say, look, if you don't read the newspaper, you're ill-informed, but if you read the newspaper, you're misinformed.
I'm sorry,
what we have to do is absolutely look at those facts.
Is to eliminate Hamas. And the world's government should be supporting Israel in eliminating Hamas. If they've been much more supportive over the last 9 months, this would be over by now, and there wouldn't be any civilian deaths, honestly. So I understand what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying. Of course, we want peace, but it's not going to happen unless we let Israel finish the job.